Unit 3 Study Guide, questions 21 through 24. Solving inequalities. Two things you need to remember when solving inequalities. First off, solving inequalities, it's just like solving equations except for where it's different. It's different from equations. When you multiply or divide both sides of an inequality by a negative number, the inequality must change direction. If it was greater than, it would become less than. And less than, it would become greater than. We'll see that in the problems. The second thing you need to be aware of and be reminded of, when you're graphing, open circle and closed circle matters. You use an open circle for the symbols less than or greater than. You use a closed circle for less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. Okay, we'll see that in the examples also. Okay, question number 21. Again, it's just like solving an equation. So you want to isolate the variable, get rid of the part that's being added or subtracted that's over here with the A. Your inequality is going to come straight down the page. To get rid of a 3, you would use a negative 3. Do the same thing on this side. Keeping the sign in here really helps. You get 5a is greater than negative 20. Adding and subtracting doesn't change the inequality ever, no matter if it's positive or negative. And now, to finish solving it, a is being multiplied by 5. You need to divide by 5. Divide by a positive 5. On this side, also divide by a positive 5. On the left side, you get your a by itself. On the right, 20 divided by 4 is, or 20 divided by 5 is 4. It's a negative divided by a positive. You do get a negative 4. Doesn't matter that that was negative. You were multiplying or dividing both sides by a positive. Your inequality stays the way it is. It is greater than. To graph that, find negative 4. Negative 4 is not a good answer, so that is why we put an open circle at the negative 4, but anything bigger than it is good. 0 is greater than negative 4. We need to go towards the 0, so you draw a line above it, pointing to the right, and you have finished graphing that problem. 2 points on these problems. One for the solution, a is greater than negative 4, and another point for graphing it. It must have the correct circle, open or closed, and the line going the correct direction to get that other point. Number 22. Again, solving inequalities just like solving an equation. So to get rid of a 2, to get rid of the part that's being added here, you use a negative 2. Inequality is going to come straight down the page. Negative 2. On this side also, you get negative 2/3 x is less than. Adding and subtracting doesn't change the inequality at all. And you get 6. X is being multiplied by a negative 2/3. You divide by a negative 2/3. On this side also, divide by a negative 2/3. On this side, you get x. On this side, you need to do the work. It's going to be 6 divided by negative 2/3. Put a 1 under this. You don't really divide with fractions. You multiply by the reciprocal. 6 over 1 times negative 3/2. Reduce. 2 reduces with the 6. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 3 times negative 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Positive times a negative, it is a negative 9. You multiplied or divided by a negative number to solve it. This inequality has to change direction. It has to be n is greater than negative 9. So that would be, again, because it's just greater than, it is an open circle at the negative 9, and your line goes to the right. Okay, 0 is greater than negative 9, 10 is greater than negative 9. Our line must be going to the right. Number 23, to solve this inequality, again, isolating the variable, inequality is going to go straight down the page. To get rid of a negative 4, you put a plus 4. Put a plus 4 on this side also. On the left side, you get your negative 4k. On the right, negative 8 plus 4 is a negative 4. They're different signs, so you subtract. Your inequality comes straight down. Again, adding and subtracting does not change the inequality. And now, to get the k completely by itself, they're multiplying by negative 4. You divide by negative 4. On both sides, divide by negative 4. On this side, you get k by itself. On this side, negative 4 divided by negative 4 is 1, and a negative divided by a negative is a positive, so it's positive 1. You multiplied both sides by a negative number. That inequality has to change direction. It was pointed to the right. It now needs to point to the left. So k has to be less than 1. You can use that shortcut. Since the k is listed first, our line has to be going this direction, the same way this inequality is pointing. So this, again, is an open circle. 1 is not a good answer. That open circle is showing you that 1 is not a good answer because we did not shade that in. And then anything less than that is good. So that's your graph. Again, 2 points. 1 for the solution, 1 for the graph. And then number 24, distributive property. 2 times everything in here. 2 times 1y is going to be 2y. 2 times a negative 2 is a negative 4. And your inequality just comes down. We haven't started solving anything, so no way does the inequality change. And again, it's going to keep coming straight down the page. To get rid of a negative 4, you add 4. Do the same on this side. Add 4. You get 2y is less than or equal to, the inequality is not changing, 10 plus 4 is 14. Y is being multiplied by 2, so to undo multiplying by 2, you divide by 2. Divide this side by 2. You get, on the left, you get y. On the right, 14 divided by 2 is 7. You multiplied or divided by a positive number. That does not change the inequality. The inequality stays the exact same way it was. Now, graphing that, there is 1 point for your solution. Graphing that, this time, 7 is a good answer. 7 is less than or equal to 7. So, you shade in the circle at the 7. Let's try putting it at the 7. And shade that in as best you can. And then anything less than that is a good answer. Your line goes towards the left. Let me erase that guy. And that is the solution. 2 points. 1 for the solution, 1 for the graph.